I kind of just want to do a sanity check here. Just because Balladin Crew C20 should be quite decent. It should be very, very decent. And I don't know. The fact that I lost Crew C12 on the tournament is... I feel like that shouldn't have happened. Balladin just has such high potential, and wow, that was a short one. I'm not happy with that because I can't buy a bottle. Yeah, no, I'm fine with not buying a bottle. Well, I thought I'd not be able to buy an important orb, but not to worry, it was just a bottle. Oh, 10 bulky game. I think I meant to just take this. If I can find myself to sling, it sounds quite decent, doesn't it? Apple date's fine. I'll go here, try and force the store, and then go left after that, instead of going to the second store. That is a lot of plants. If you'll be so kind as to hit some of these bombs, that'll be very nice, because otherwise I'm going to take some health loss. And I don't feel like losing health. Thank you. Let's get up to 50 cash. I really want to be able to buy a passive. There are some passives that work so well with either a Pebble Comp or Training Tower nonsense. And yeah, a lot of them I can buy in stores. God, imagine how good a training weight would be. That'd be so nuts. Wow, look at my targeting orb. It's a 5-4. Kind of disappointing it's not upgraded yet, but oh well. I'm not planning on upgrading it just because I value one passive of my choice more. Because it could be quite big, exactly like that. That is a really big passive for trying to do a Pebble Comp, I'm going to be honest. It's basically like adding another Obelisk to your deck. And Obelisk, you can never find enough of them in a Pebble Comp, so it is actually just pretty valuable. Like, usually, this is a Mimic. I knew that was a Mimic. I don't know why, but I knew it was a Mimic. It's something about the way the chest loads in or something. I don't know what it is. It's just some reason why I thought it was a Mimic. Now, I have actually been wrong about it being a Mimic before. But I also have a pretty good track record of just being right. I've only been wrong once. Let's try Real Shot. 6-5. I'll pass on hitting that crit, I guess. Thank you for giving me a Real Shot. I figured there were enough pegs on the board. It's just the rest of my shots can't really get enough damage to kill the Mimic, so I realized I'll have to be hitting the refresh to actually get a kill. That was a lovely, lovely fight. Oh my god, that was a perfect fight. Absolutely insane. I'm definitely not going to that store now. Peace of mind is certainly not bad. Certainly not bad at all. Just because I'm playing a Pebble Comp? Bombula. Nah. No, I just want raw stats. Sounds quite good right now. Imagine I find like a... There's a lot of good stuff I could find. Navigation inflation wasn't exactly what I was thinking of. It's not bad, but... Rallying Heart. Can I have a fight here, please? It's a really big deal if I can get some upgrades on... How is this a tough choice? I'm trying to play a Pebble Comp, and all three of these passives are really good for Pebble Comps. How is this a tough choice for a Pebble Comp? Like, Stuff of the Sling's here. You'd expect it would just be an instant Stuff of the Sling, but maybe it isn't. But I'm just going to take Stuff of the Sling if I can get it, which I can't. All of them are good, so I'm not really going to complain there, but like... It's definitely one of the ones with more late game potential rather than immediate power, and I may be paying the price for that here. Oh, I thought that would miss the refresh, but it looks like I got a good secondary refresh, so it's fine. Alright, this should be a bad shot because I'm hitting a crit. I misread the damage. I thought it was more crit damage than normal damage, but it was not. Getting these two pegs here is very unfortunate. The good news is, though, murder. Right? We just murder him. Ooh. Scarily close, but there's an upgrade on our entire deck. There's a Pumpkin Pie, which is also good for Pebble Comps. We're kind of just assembling a really good Pebble Comp here. Which is not admittedly what I expected to be doing when I was thinking of Balladin Crew C20. But we work with what we got, and apparently what we got is like a fully assembled Pebble Comp. So I guess we just do that. Hey man, if it works, it works. And if you want to hit some bombs, perfect. I only really needed one bomb, but 2 bombs means I can retarget and I'm going to get a kill, and that many bombs kind of just means the fight's over. So let me get this straight. I get Not much, actually. It's a ton more crit damage, but I'm not too interested in crit damage just because it's not granting me extra shielding, which is then feeding me more Berserker, which is then less useful if I'm boosting my crit damage massively, right? Remove an orb. This removal sounds pretty nice because my pebbles are kind of stacked. They have... Whoa, they have a lot of stats. Yes. They have a lot of stats. Oh, a bit unfortunate. I can't really change my order, I don't think. 6-6 for a level 1 pebble. Not bad, Chief. And now it's a 7-7, like, okay. That is dealing quite good damage. Very good damage. The whole 40 damage there, bam. Luckily this move actually does deal damage. Quite a lot of it too. Quite a lot. This is why I took the bulwark equals balance, just because it boosts our damage like so much. It just seems pretty worth it. Now I believe we get a shot off here. Onto the mole. No, we don't. Alright, exceedingly painful. That's really not what you're looking for. And I'm going to have to discard this Obelisk yet again, because Obelisk is just not it for this fight. It's just not it. I'll try and aim for the refresh. Worst comes to worst, I'm hitting a lot of pegs. Yeah, like a lot of pegs, huh? Now let us... Oh, let's not die. I didn't realize our health was that low. But yeah, no, let's just not die. Finish this fight up. Obelisk should be pretty good at this point. I actually... I'm just going to take an echo. It's exactly the kind of thing I'm lacking with this kind of build. Might even just press this button because I have Rallying Hard for a Pebble Comp. I totally missed that. It's actually really good. Constricting Chains. I think it's better than everything else I'm being offered. And it's kind of good with like Pumpkin Pie and House of Slime set up. As well as my numbers are high enough that I think I can just get away with having them. What do we think? Left? Sounds like a left, doesn't it? I think so. It also means we get to delay the, yeah, like... Usually this map, you're just instantly dead the second you end in, like, this kind of column. Because we're that bouncy, though, like, it's just not over when we're in that column. Alright, really, really lovely damage here. Really lovely. Oh, Echo even gets to deal damage, along with the baseline effect. I think the Echo pickup was really quite good. I think that especially with the Obelisks dealing as much damage as they're going to do once I get one more upgrade on them, I think it's going to be a very big deal. So next upgrade is actually an Obelisk upgrade. Only one though. Oh, maybe two. And then I'll finish off the Echo. I know that the Echo upgrade is like so important, but I want my Obelisks dealing maximum possible. I guess I'm not going to be laying it up that much, so I should just do the Echo, shouldn't I? Yeah, that sounds right. 60 to 100 is a pretty big deal. Oh, okay, I'll go right. I'm fine to go right. I just kind of wanted to go left more. Maybe I don't go right. No, I go right. I definitely go right. 3-2. I'll aim this way because this way we have Pumpkin Pie high roll, as well as Refresh high roll, as well as we're not critting high roll. And all of those sound pretty nice. There's one hit. Let's hope that we get a good second hit. Should be pretty cool. I just need our Echo to have good follow-through. Getting that kill there was actually kind of unfortunate. I would have loved to leave him alive on a small amount of health, but looks like I pulled it off pretty flawlessly, eh? I think one more refresh would do us wonders, though. We probably can't take that in the form of an orb. But it would just be exceptionally handy to have access to one more refresh, because we're kind of really good at spamming at this point. It's just not exactly what we need all the time. I think this might be fine. Good. 107, so I can buy twice in the store. Duplicate Echo. Echo is kind of representing all of my AoE power here. And that might be very spooky. But I would have preferred an Obelisk, but I couldn't get an Obelisk. Well, well, well. I do want more refreshing capabilities. That is true. But I just can't turn these down. Instant stats plus scaling, that's really, really ideal. Oh, okay. This is exactly the kind of thing I was imagining for the Echobs. you get a good first shot, which hit a crit, so it actually crunched its damage. And then you follow that through with the absolutely blessed second shot because I shoot straight onto a refresh, and I'm still a 1-1. You can actually get a lot of damage as a 1-1. It's not as crazy as like a 1-2, but yeah, I just wiped out all the enemies. Nice. Man, I really should be doing that. So I will do it once at least. Potentially also another once. Let's try and collect a tiny bit of cash before going through is what I would like to say if I actually got any cash. There's a lot of enemies in this fight. Quite a few of them, and if you look at my echo positioning, it's not the best. I'm not going to be able to use them this fight. Or maybe I will, which is really not ideal. But at least the first shot was very decent. I can't even access that guy. That's annoying. You know what else is really annoying? Really annoying. Really annoying. I knew it would mess me up having this refresh here, but like, damn, it really messed me up. Still a mildly impressive shot though, I'm gonna be honest. Alright, this should be able to do some fun stuff, right? Where's the... Oh my lord, I love it. It's just gonna go for ages. Isn't the timer... Oh no, it's not just 2 minutes, okay. Cool, well that was fun. I love claiming that free damage there, that was just a fun loop. There's still one more enemy after this, Jesus. This is a long fight. It's because all of the enemies started on the field and then they weren't moving because they're not moving enemies, they're teleporting enemies. But yeah, this should also be able to get a kill, I think. Yep. Oh, this is the level 3 one and it's still only a 5-5. That is kind of pathetic. It's not really worth the upgrade if it's just not going to upgrade. Yeah. I guess it does upgrade the obelisk, but it doesn't. Maybe that's much more worth it. Alright, let's just crunch this guy early on. Get him dealt with. This might be a very perfect fight. We'll see. We will see. No. 4-5 because it's level 3, yes. Wow. Look at how good this fight was. This was so clean. Absolutely just lovely. This is exactly why I wanted the Echo in my deck. And yeah, I mean like, this has felt so much better than the Crucible 12 run. It's crazy. Like, Balladin actually has just such a good time into Crucible 20. Orbust is mildly tempting. Very tempting, actually. It's quite solid. Grants me a balance, it grants me in the circle. Unfortunately, it's only one with circle. For that reason, I want to try and get to 105 cash, yes. If I don't get to 105 cash before the store, I will do an upgrade on my obelisk to make sure that my obelisk is... That's massive. Level 3 before crossbow, because I am kind of scared about crossbow. It is definitely a scary fight. Talk about a scary fight. This is an absolutely terrifying fight. I am scared out of my mind right now. As long as I can get a good first shot, we can... Ooh. Ooh, that's fun. We can follow it through with one of these lovely Echoes, though. Which should be able to kind of solve this fight for us, eh? Well, it did kind of solve the fight for us, but we've still got to work our way through the rest of them. No refresh? Okay, well. No kill. Yeah, that's not what I wanted. Like, you see what I mean? Like, we absolutely blitzed down this fight. This was just so much easier than normal. And yeah, look how much health we're still losing. Right, like, 94. Do I need to remind you? 94. That's so ridiculous. This fight is actually just a joke. Anyway, the Echoes are certainly amazing. The Echo duplication was definitely stronger than the... that's a lot of cash as well. Than the Obelisk duplication. I just wanted Obelisk more, can I say. Alright, lots of good passives for me to hit here. What? These are not them. These are not them. Not at all. Oh no. Unicorn Horn, Bombaton, Molten Gold. These are not them. Unicorn Horn is a lot less interesting when I have force targeting. Bombaton though, when I have no bomb passives, it's just generating me some extra momentum sometimes. Oh man. Oh, you gotta be joking. I need a heal here. I did not pay attention to my health. Oh no. This is scary. Oh wait, 9? 53 plus 9? Is that enough? Is that enough? That's what I want to know. Alright. Please just get a solid amount of damage here. It is enough. Okay. Forgot that we have Balladin passive. I was scared for nothing, eh? I would really love more damage than that. I would have really loved it. This is way closer than I would have liked, that's for sure. Guess we're getting some scaling going on now, but that still gave me nothing. Unfortunate, I guess. I'm not sure we can get through here. I don't think we can. I'm sorry, but I'm just not believing at this point in time. Especially not with him being right there, eh? Because we have to deal with him, actually. I have to deal with him. There's no way I can kill him, apart from aiming straight at him. So I have to aim straight at him. And then we're just totally done for. We can't win from there. Like, sure, this next shot is fine. But it's just over. I do not get to pass go, apparently. This has to somehow get the kill, which, like, sure, it could get the kill. It's not going to. Especially now with a shot like this. This is the only shot that could, and it has to hit this refresh. And it has to get 2,000 odd damage, like, just not happening, I guess. Okay, so that was the first run. It was actually shockingly close. That was not too bad. I think I could have won there if I'd actually hit some passives in that last store, but the last store was utterly atrocious. I really could not get anything from it, and I really needed something from it. Cool, start off with a round guard. Round guard certainly would have been amazing in that last fight, wouldn't it? There were so many passives I could have hit. Extra scaling, round guard. Those are definitely the main ones that I'm thinking of. Generally very high impact. Any kind of like refilibuster as well to deal with the minions as well would have been amazing because I wasted how much damage that I had to waste on minions. Like, that's really not what you want to be doing there. Making sure that I get up to 25 cash here. There are a lot of carry orbs that I could find immediately that I really need to be able to buy if I see them. 27 gold, it looks like I in fact got there. Good. Should be able to hit a bomb. It in fact did not. Well, I'm not a fan of this. Round guard. I'm a fan of round guard. I'm a massive fan of round guard. Just a pretty exceptional passive still. And is there any surprise, really? Let's try and spike some event eye roll, I guess. Yeah. Look, shielding revenge is garbage, so of course we get that. Okay. Decoy orb is almost completely useless. Oh. Okay. Well, we have two orbs in our deck, and each as bad as each other. And plus one starting with circle would have been really nice. So I've lost 13 health for not that much benefits yet. Yet, of course. Oh, okay. Well, yeah. This is the other part of the reason why C20 is just so impossible, because that's just going to happen to you. There's just nothing you can do if that happens to you. You're just going to get absolutely pummeled. If you get bad RNG, you get bad RNG. You're just going to have to go again. Once I can remove this Ouroboros from my deck, I can just cheese, which sounds really nice. There's a store, which I should be able to buy one passive in. Not buy a remove, though, if I need the opportunity to buy the remove. So I may want to stock up enough cash to buy both a remove and an Ouroboros. Yeah, just because if I'm given the opportunity... oh my god. I can't believe it actually got a kill there. I really want to be able to take it. I guess there are other few ways I could make use of my reloads. Jesus, man. But yeah, realistically, we really don't want to be playing for Ouroboros for this run. We're just using it as a remove all the orbs in your deck, which is pretty valuable in and of itself. But it can also be very unfortunate if you can't take it. Sometimes you will just die if you take it. We have round guards who are in a very unique position where we can actually just take it and be kind of fine, despite the fact that we have no kind of damage boosts for it. But most of the time, it's really not recommended, especially for C20. Unless you have some amazing tempo piece, like, for example, Refilibuster. Maybe where you have like Bombaton Enhanced Gunpowder. That can also do you wonders. Alright. 75. I want to get to 80 is the issue. Looks like we got to 80. Exactly as I wished. And now let's just hit the perfect scenario here. And then as long as we don't get a dude, we're totally fine. Oh. Oh, I can't count. We can cheese though, but I can't count. Yeah, okay, it's 90, not 80. Silly me. Forgot about Crucible 18 numbers. Yeah, that's interesting. There's still a lot of stuff we can do though. Like, yeah, that is unfortunate. If we could have bought that remove there, that would have been very, very good. Very, very good indeed. But not yet. We still have quite a lot of time though. So much time to find that one more remove. Perfect. Bonk, bonk. The pinch maneuver is always a nice passive. It doesn't seem like this run we're actually going to be trying to use it, but if you're going to be beating Crucible 20, honestly, pinch maneuver is definitely one of the better ways to go. It's a very, very solid passive. It can work wonders, especially if your comp actually allows it to. Oh, this is mildly unfortunate. I really don't like getting smacked by this guy. He hits very hard. Oh, especially since we also deal half damage. I screwed, I'm just discarding. He's dealing more damage than we're dealing. So, it's just not worth it. Oh, if you can kill him, thank you. Bam, look at that, a crit. It means I actually get to deal damage. Due to the Ouroboros change. Ow. This is gonna hurt. Or is it? No, I need 200 damages. That's a bit too ridiculous for the comp that I've got going right now. It is a comp, but it's also not a comp. We kind of don't do much here. Plus 30 damage though does do stuff. Look at that, that was lovely. Now, what do we want to do? Just kind of want to just like do that. Just kind of make sure that I have the tools to get through places. Ring of Indignation is very handy to see, I'm going to be honest. There's so much I could hit here. That was not one of the things I was hoping for, I'm going to be honest. Let's just try and burn through this fight. Let's just try and burn through it. It's going to be painful, but we're going to get there. As long as we're walking out. I mean, if we could walk out of this fight with at least half health. I mean, sorry, full health because we half heal. That would be insane, wouldn't it? I don't believe we're going to be able to do that, but it would be nice. It's a nice dream to have. Just gonna keep stacking the bad cheese. Reloads are not bad after all. I'm gonna rush to a store though. It is vitally important that I get to a store ASAP because a store has a forced removal. Sorry, it has an 100% chance of removal. And unfortunately, due to the change, I'm not sure if I'm actually favoured here. God, not being able to buy that remove has really, really hurt. He's at half health. My bad cheese is not really scaled enough. Also, these vines are just really messing with me because I'm only ever shooting horribles. Most of the time I'm only ever shooting horribles. Spooky, eh? Very spooky. There we go. I did not realize he would die there. But we very much needed that. I'm spending a bit too much cash, I think. Okay, leaf thresh Sappersack. Yes. I just need Sappersack to try and get me through stuff. I'm seeing a lot of chesters, right? So that's at least very nice. Jesus, man. I just wanted an early store. That was all I wanted, and it looks like that was the exact opposite of what I got. So, oh, you absolute legend! Oh my god, this fight was made so much easier because of that. I just don't get to move. Well, that's nice to see. Because this fight, it can be just an absolute pain otherwise. Mind you, it almost still was. Almost. Alright, pray, right? Pray. Look, 2 question marks, 2 treasure chests, and another question mark. The chances are good. They're pretty good. I'll pass on that, actually. There's a lot of good stuff. That's not exactly it. It's also definitely not it. I do not care about an Echo 90 build. This is it. This is not it. Ooh. Scary, scary. 1 zapper if you'll be so kind, thank you. After all, I only really need 1 and then this fight is over. Okay. Very clean. Very clean. No more loss. Navigation? If I remember correctly? No, that was the last one. Still just want a slightly more cash. Alright, free move. That is not a free move. That's not a free move. So what's our plan here, you might ask? The answer is, of course, pain. We're just not happy about this at all. Or maybe we are. I don't know about that. No, I'm not doing that. No, the sappers are way better for me to hit. Unfortunately, I need to actually hit the sappers. Which means I will be shooting the horrible because the sappers are my best source this fight. Sappers? Come on, I just need sappers. Really badly. Not worth it. I need sappers. This is kind of the reason why I took Sapper Sack. Why are you dealing damage? Why was I getting animationed? What damage is he reflecting? What am I missing? Seems a bit ridiculous. What damage is he reflecting? Whatever, let's finish this up. Jesus, man. Well, I can't take much more of that at all, can I? Aliens Rock, Mental. Slightly more ping damage. I don't know, it was a bit weird. He was reflecting damage that I think he shouldn't have been reflecting. Except the bribe, Bastion. Oh! That's so good. That's really good. Oh. Oh, you gotta be kidding me, man. And even the fights where you think everything goes like perfectly, you're still just going to be fighting a demon. And it turns out that the comp that you're trying to bring to him is just not going to work. It just does not work. So what's our plan for the demon wall, you might be asking now? There isn't one. We did not bring a plan for the demon wall. Our plan is to find it in the store, which means we're not buying the remove, which means we have to keep the Ouroboros, and the Ouroboros is not actually doing anything for us. So it's just really just not good all around. Really not what you're looking for. Thank you, just finished this. I do need health for the demon wall, but at least it's less health than normal. I am just going to try and take this elite. I'm very much just living on a prayer at this point. This round was over the moment I realized that there was a demon wall waiting for me. There's not just one demon waiting for me. There is two. So maybe we just die. That would be pleasant. Yes, there's a lot of passives in the store that could technically save us. But I don't know about that, man. Like, especially with the store I got last run, it's just not easy to find what I need, apparently. Also, I'm burning a lot of health here, huh? Luckily I have the thing. Otherwise I would be dead. Bastion is just a very good passive. That's a bit hard to hit. How do I hit that? I think that shot might hit it. Oh, it hits two of them. But I still live even if I hit two of them? Okay. I'm listening. Unfortunately, I can't buy two passives. I can only buy one passive. Power Glove. Because I just die. There are sappers in the boss fight, I'll just die. And currently my main source of damage against the boss is indeed sappers. Like, yeah, the Power Glove is nice and all, but it's just not going to work. Alright, 2 stores to find what I need. What on Seek is not what I need, but it would have been nice. So what's in the next store? So yeah, I would say that Crucible 20 is at least like not too hard to beat, but if you're going to get luck like this, it's going to be very rough for you to actually get a win. This is just not ideal, is it? Enhanced Gunpowder to try and spam Echo upgrades. Get an upgrade here on my Ouroboros. I need to do an upgrade here, right? Yes, I have to rely on Ouroboros damage to get me through this fight. It's not possible, but I actually do have, I think, enough health to chop my way through this fight. I think I can actually outlive this out, this is what I'm saying. I don't know. 14 health is probably a bit too low to actually outlive it. But I think before I could have. 14 is just too much. Too much self-damage I took. Like, I'm dead. Simple as that. Yeah, see ya. Oh, so that run was almost perfect. I would have had to win there if I didn't have to fight Dingwall. That's quite sad, eh? But yeah, the area one was quite interesting. I think Training Tower, probably. Training Tower or Modern God. Modern God Starter is like so interesting. I think we might just stick with the Training Tower, try and play. It is a decent out. It does have a lot of decent outs. Yeah, okay, fine, sure. A lot of good passives you can find, and what the hell was that? I can't afford that. I don't have the cash for that, man. Triple Saw. Because double store wasn't enough. I already couldn't afford double store. Like, you only need to give me one store later on. I don't need that much. So yeah, now that we're actually doing a real run and it's not just like cheese comp, I would indeed love it's a pincer maneuver. It's a very very nice passive for runs where you're actually trying to deal damage. And because we have starting training tabard, I do suspect that we are going to be attempting to deal damage this run. Training tabard can lead into a lot of things. It's generally a very very good setup passive, but it's exactly that, a setup passive. You need something more if you want to actually be comboing with it. I don't think we can take the early elite, but I kind of think I need to take the early elite. It's the duality, right? Like, relying on that kind of high roll might just be required for your Crucible 20 runs, depending on how you want to approach it, right? Like, sure, it's definitely safer to not be taking these elites, but now I'm forced to take it. And for a world on stake, I'll definitely take an elite fight because I've got starting one with circle, I've got now healing per reload. Like, I'm in just a much better position all around, but I'm still going to take 2 or 3 hits to this Minotaur. Like, if you're this early on and you don't have tempo passes, definitely for sure, Minotaur is going to absolutely wreck you. You know, it's just going to be like, oh, why did I take this elite fight? It's just not working out for me. But like, you maybe you should still be taking them. I don't know. It's a bit tough to say. I think relying on high roll is something you can do. So yeah, we do get to heal up immediately after, but we definitely took 2 more hits than I would have liked. Ideally, when you're fighting Minotaur, especially this early on, you really don't want to be pressing the heal button afterwards, which means you only want to be taking 1 hit. Unfortunately, we took 3, which is more than you would like, but we do have access to healing, as well as this map might bail us out depending on what we get, so it might be worth it. Sasha Focus is incredibly, incredibly good. It's exactly what I'm talking about with like the high roll outs, where if we can get set up a good Sasha Focus build, we would be in an amazing spot. Another way we can do that is, you'll notice we have actually pretty good reloads now, so now we're looking much more for like round guard stuff. We've got triple store, so we can take, oh, I guess maybe not triple store, I guess we're not taking triple store actually, we're doing triple elite instead. I think this is a situation where we actually would want triple store instead. So the reason why is because now we have way more opportunities to find a round guard, and a round guard would set us up amazingly. I know I'm doing like 2 round guard comps back to back, but round guard is a very very good passive most of the time. So a lot of the time you really want to be picking it up. And yes, our deck is still super thick. It's going to be very hard to actually gain value from our reloads, but that doesn't mean that it's not going to be very thin later. So we're setting up for that later. So I can go to either of them. Both of them keep my options open actually, which means I guess I'll grab some cash. I still have 6 shielding, so I can afford to be greeding. And depending on how many stores I'm going to, I'll need the greed, right? Like, okay. So this is, again, not an ideal fight, but because of the way it's staggered, we've now gotten a circle for our boss fights in both of them, which is really quite lovely. And it looks like our first shot was very, very decent. I'm never going to complain about hitting the bombs on the first shot too much. It is, of course, not ideal. You'd rather be hitting them on the second shot. But, you know, hitting them on the first shot is better than not hitting them at all, which is generally what's going to be happening when you run this map, which is exactly why I'm kind of just fine with it. Okay, that is really good. Because now we can easily, yep, just pop them, finish them up. Hopefully that hits a refresh, because that just allows my... Terrible should be able to find 24 damage there. Oh yes, 2-2, yeah, it definitely can. Unfortunately, a bit more than I would have liked. My reload there gives us so much stats, that's really, really lovely actually. Okay. At this point, we want to be working towards hitting this refresh. We can't get through 300 more health without hitting this refresh. Like, we can, but I would really not recommend it, because the second you hit the refresh, like, we just got like an extra 100-something damage there because of it. It's like really good. We're getting very close to our sash pop. It's at this point where you need to consider, okay, what if I purposely proc my sash, and then... Actually, I think I do that. Yeah, I'll do that. Just so that... Yeah, it's very much worth it here. Just so that I can then heal up afterwards. Yeah, so I think that's very worth it. I'll pop my sash and then I'll try and end into this elite fight. If we can walk into that elite fight with a sash and then not get punished for being on very, very low health, we're actually in a great, great spot. It's just a question of whether or not that will happen. So there's a wool chicken. I might actually just take the wool chicken. It's a really, really good safety blanket, and it means I'm not popping my sash here, but it means I can probably take this elite fight. Maybe I shouldn't. What do we think here? This is a very interesting choice. I think that you could say that going both ways works, because we're going to have 165 cash. We can buy 3 passives here. Doesn't matter if they're all from the same store, we can buy 3 passives here, which means we're basically getting to pick exactly the passives we want. So I think an ambidextrary and a round guard would be insane. If we could find those in those stores, we're set up insanely, insanely well, and perhaps a training weight, or maybe another added advantage, or there's a lot of stuff we can hit here. So I think I will actually be going here, but this is also very real, because you're getting an elite passive, which could be very, very good, as well as you get to buy 3 passives in this store. Unfortunately, 3 passives in the one store is much worse compared to 3 passives over 3 stores. It also means that we're not really gaining any like cash or potentially finding a good orb in these stores, because we're not on the lookout for orbs here, and we are on the lookout for orbs like here. But I think it is just worth it here, so yeah, I'll go this way. It's like, sure, I'm just going to be ignoring most of these stores, but I think that's just fine. We're still getting a lot of value from them, is the thing. Even if we're not buying anything, just being able to see our options is important enough that you should definitely consider it. At the minimum, even if you're not taking it, you should consider it, because it can just win you a run outright. Like if you're finding passives that are synergizing with what you've already got, that's just absolutely nuts. Now let's try and set up as many bombs as we can. I want this bat to die before he starts regenerating health, because otherwise this fight can become a bit annoying. You can have a few too many enemies hitting you, and that's just really not what we're looking for. I will do this shot because it should be able to definitely get a kill on this tree stump, and potentially it can hit these bombs, and then I'll get to change my target. Not ideal though. I think I should have enough momentum to carry down and hit some bombs potentially. Not really. Not really. Does this work? I would love for this to work. Perfect. Nice. So yeah, they're only dealing 1 damage per hit, so at this point we kind of want to maybe slow down the fight a bit, try and spam reload a bit more, because our reloads are going to be healing us more than the damage they're dealing to us. Not by much, but by enough that, you know, we should try and take the health that we can get. And here, we definitely want to aim at the tree stump, I think. I should be able to reclaim more health than the damage total that he's dealt to me. And then we can just kind of finish him off with a shot like this, potentially? No, not yet. Not yet. That's what the next shot is for. Alright, our scaling is definitely working out. We can definitely see that. Now, time to see if this triple store gamble pays off. Now, it's 3 stores, so you're very likely to find good stuff. Here, bad cheese you could consider. It's not bad, but our reloads are already very, very good. We don't really need to power them up in the way that bad cheese is powering them up. Counter attack, it's not the new one. So yeah, I'm just going to be skipping this store. It was still valuable for me to visit that store. Let's see if we have what we want in this store. Ambidextrary, yes, that's exactly one of the ones we're looking for. That's really quite good. We should definitely be buying that. We should also consider stuff like Balladin, because at this point we're in the second store. You know, we can buy 2 more passives worth. Are we going to find 2 good passives in the next store? That's a good question. Like, do you think you will? So should we just settle for the next best passive in this store, which is Balladin? I think we can pass. You know, our max health is in a very solid state right now, and there's potentially a lot of good stuff we can find. Worst comes to worst, we can always just remove the terrible, which is pretty decent, especially with ambidextrary in our deck, because that way we just cycle even faster. And so here we find added advantage. That is very decent. It's not crazy, but it is at least very decent. These two feed into each other quite well. So yes, House Slime here is also very good, especially when probably not the kind of thing we're looking for. We've already got good circle scaling, so I'm just going to take added advantage. Cool. So here, we want to play to our outs. Reloading is not exactly ideal, because they're dealing 6 damage to me and setting up 2 vines. So it's like, not the best. And so in return, I'm getting 2 circle for the 2 vines they're setting up, and I'm completely undoing all of the damage they're dealing. It's, in terms of trades, it's definitely one of the better trades you can get. But the fact that we went to all of those stores and we just constantly missed the round guard is really definitely not ideal. It would have been massive if we could have hit the round guard there, but unfortunately we did not find it, so we're going to have to work with what we got, and it is much more than what we had previous runs, but still unfortunately just a bit lacking. I'm really not happy about this plant still being alive. I'm trying to hit that bomb, thank you. Yeah, it looks like we did not really find enough to actually get through this. I don't know, I'm not seeing this. I don't think this wins. But I think we played to our outs pretty well. We have Sash, so maybe that can come in clutch, do some good healing. I need to pop this vine. This vine has to die. That is an absolutely killer vine there. I think I'll try working on it from that side, but that's probably not a good play. Bad cheese would have definitely come in handy here. It would have just been pinging away these guys. It would have been nice, but I didn't know that I would be missing, so I think that it was worth it just to keep my cash for the next stores, but yeah, hindsight is king, of course. We also gain 2 shielding each time as well. That is very valuable, to be honest. It definitely could be more valuable, but it has its uses. Now let's try this. It's probably not going to achieve too much, but there's an off chance that... So this is... Oh, they stand there and they keep smashing me. Okay, I see. Well, we have our Sash now, so things are looking on the up. At this point, we've probably scaled enough that we probably need to stop trying to discard as much. It's still valuable to be discarding, but at this point, we have the stats that we require to win. We have our Sash, so I need to not be hitting crits like that. That's really unfortunate, isn't it? Let's try and free up these vines over here now. I will still discard there. I think that is valuable enough. It also means we get to shoot our Sphere again, which is great for actually getting damage onto Betsy, because we're not too good at dealing damage to Betsy. Alright, we burnt through all of the minions. This is a situation that you can find yourself in against Betsy. At Crucible 20 it's going to be pretty rare, because most of the time you're going to have to kill them earlier. But at this point we actually do just have perfect. Yep. So the fight's lasted long enough that we've just stored up shots, and now we can do something like that. So it's at this point where I'm going to do something very boring. It's, you know, something that I would definitely recommend you doing for these kinds of runs. Oh, it looks like I'm actually going to be forced to kill him. But getting a heal here certainly would have been nice. But now we're sitting at 75 health, and we have a Torn Sash active. We're in a really, really decent spot, in theory. Now, the reason why I say in theory is because our AoE is sorely lacking. We really want to be improving that. Our reloads are very good right now, but they're not good enough. They're not quite good enough to beat Demon. I think we'll be upgrading the Sphere. We need our AoEs to be better. And Sapasac is a great way to do that. It's a really, really amazing way to do that. Steel Conviction is also a lot of scaling. And we do have the ambidextrity to counteract it. I think that, yet again, I will just take Sapasac. But this is a very different Sapasac. This Sapasac does half damage to me. That is very, very nice. Let's just hit one Sapa for this fight. Thank you. Alright, so now that we've found Sapasac, we can kind of lean more into bomb stuff as well. Oh, lovely. We're also getting the max HP from Nightcap. That is beautiful. So it looks like I think we can take right. It is pretty spooky. There are a lot of elite fights that we would much prefer not to be getting. But here's the thing. Okay, good. I do get to go right. Or do I not? Okay, good. The rewards are just a lot better for the right path. Offer the Pebble. This is perfect. We really wanted more on moves. And the Sphere level 3 is also very decent. It really does help out, just improve our matchups overall, which is something we really wanted to do. Quite rude. Luckily, I'm just really, really good. This training tablet added advantage stuff is working out really, really well. Just cleaving through enemies here. Wow, that's beautiful. This is it. So let's just finish things up. I end the fight. I'm still just gaining max HP. This is working out flawlessly, isn't it? I shouldn't jinx myself like that. I really shouldn't. So yeah, recognizing spots like against that Betsy fight where you can just cheese is also a good idea. Because there I realized I could cheese, so I started trying to cheese, and then unfortunately because there were still pegs left on the map, it was a bit hard for me to actually continue on with that cheese. Just because Betsy was eventually going to try and vine those pegs, and you know that was going to mess up my cheese shot. Alright, really good. Because of our scaling the circle, we can actually just deal damage with our horrible. I wouldn't recommend it usually because hitting the crit is just so deadly. But you know, if you can't access your refresh, you might just need to do that because it's a big orb. Alright, let's make sure to... God. Not ideal here. I would have loved to walk out of this fight with max HP, and unfortunately I lost way more HP than it preferred. But... Oh god. 102. Thank you. That was definitely on the unfortunate side. 152, I've got a store there, I've got 2 fights. Can probably press that button once. Or go Refreshive. Refreshive is definitely exactly the kind of thing we're looking for. Sorry, I thought it was something else. Yeah, no, Refreshive is really good here. It's exactly the kind of thing we're looking for. We need more refreshing capabilities. Now if we can find like a recon, we'd be in an amazing spot with a recon. It's part of the reason why I wanted to go to the elites. There's just a lot of really good passives I could be hitting, and if I can hit them, that really does change the outcome of this run massively. Let's just finish this fight. Oh, I would have loved to end with shielding, and I did end with shielding. Perfect. Just so that you can gain max HP every fight, it's really important to make sure that you're actually gaining stuff whenever you fight in Area 2, because most of the time you're just going to be losing stuff in Area 2, and it's just not ideal. That move there is valuable. This elite is another one of these fights. Definitely not an ideal fight. Our Refreshive is not exactly going to be helping out here, and this is the best time to hit a crit. Just don't hit a crit later, okay? But I do think that the remove is valuable. I don't know. It means that we get to cycle up a bit earlier, and I think the next time I'm going to shoot my full deck. Oh, definitely, right, because he's right on me. Yeah. Definitely going to be shooting my full deck now. Alright, if we could just hit 2 sappers, I believe I only got 1 off there. Damn. It'd be unfortunate that I lost some health here, but kind of a necessity for this fight. This is definitely the worst elite fight we could have gotten, and a lot of the times it's also going to be the worst elite fight you could have gotten. It can be very, very nasty. Bullpeen Hammer. That is really good. We could definitely try and force a shielding comp here. So we've got good AoE in terms of the Sapper's Axe, and then we have really good shielding scaling, as well as generally just the circle and the bulk is incredibly, incredibly valuable. So there's no fortification here, there's none of the other one, both of which would have been amazing. But in case you didn't notice, wow, this store is insane. Sapper's Attack is very valuable. Enhanced Gunpowder. It gives you so many more procs. If you don't yet have the recon, training rate is definitely just amazing. I was also going to be considering the remove this fight. It does put me on a 1-turn cycle, which is particularly good if I can find either a decoy or a round guard. It's kind of crazy I haven't seen a round guard yet. I've been to a lot of stores this run. But yes, we do just buy 2 exceptionally good passives, and then we consider a fresh bandana. Our refreshing is actually quite decent thanks to Refreshive, but in fights where we're not killing enemies, it's probably a bit on the weaker side, so I probably will just take that. In particular, if we get a 3rd Demon Wall, I would like to be a bit more favoured into that fight, because currently it's still just a bit of an annoying fight for me. That is unfortunate. I would much prefer to be getting an elite here, because this fight is going to be a bit annoying. It's like fine, especially if I can find a fortification. Oh. Okay. Sorry there, it seems you misnavigated. And so this is... Wow. Wow, okay. This could very much be worse than Demon Wall. This is exactly what I'm talking about though with your Crucible runs. The earlier runs, you'll notice I just was not getting good RNG, and then sometimes, it'll just be like, oh, you misnavigated? Here you go. Here's the right path. Why not, eh? And there's just a 9-day difference if you're getting those kinds of RNGs. Like, one of them is... oh my lord, lovely. So much damage here. We're taking very little reflect damage because he hasn't scaled up the reflect too much. We're not doing too much damage, and perfect. There you go. That training weight, it's making all the difference. Mostly for this, baby. So good with training Tabard. Now let's just consider things. None of these are shielding picks. I don't really want to take it. And look at that. Resistance 9 is generally meant to be a really, really hard Area 2 fight. The position we're in, like with the kind of style that we're trying to use, it's also not the strongest against resistance side, but just because of the setup we have, like we've just managed to find so many of the pieces that, yeah, we just healed that fight. We gained max HP. It was just a really, really positive fight overall. Now, Pegback, Knife's Edge, Knuckles. Pegback is usually insane. Usually you're going to be lacking refreshing capabilities, you're going to take this Pegback. However, we've been really lucky. We've hit a fresh bandana and a refreshive. So suddenly this Knuckles is looking really, really good. Knuckles is an insane passive almost all of the time. Even when you've only got 1 refresh on the board, it's still a decent passive. It's not an amazing passive, but it's a decent passive. And as it turns out, you can just pick up a decent passive. If you hit high roll later, if you hit a pegback later, wow, look at that Knuckles, it's doing so much more. If you hit a training rate, wow, it's doing so much more. If you hit a this one, added advantage, it's a touch so much better. And if you hit like a refreshive and a fresh bandana as well, it's really, really good. We have so many synergy pieces for this Knuckles right here. It's so good. We're just not worried about this crossbow anymore. And we can still find a fortification. So time to test our theory. How much better are we into this guy? Because it's still a bit of an annoying fight, for sure. But even just, you'll notice there, the enhanced gunpowder is just giving us slightly more procs. One more refresh on the board. We're probably not going to get stuck with our refreshing capabilities again like the first fight. We're just dealing so much more damage. Our scaling, look at that, we're up to 10 per circle now instead of 6 or 5 or 4 or 7 per circle. That kind of area. Like, it's just so much more damage, so much faster because we're just finding all the pieces. It's such a big difference, it really is. And then popping corn for the constant healing is really, really good. I would highly recommend it, especially if you've got a multiple boss passive. It's really, really good. Potentially, we would just want the Primal Frost here, but I do think I will just stick with the popping corn because we have a massive amount of max HP and we're doubling that. Popping corn is just very, very valuable. Okay, this is a spooky fight. This can definitely be a fight that does not go your way. I don't think that's really possible for us anymore. But this can be spooky. Well, that was just lovely. Alright, as long as we're still getting our max HP here, I'm more than fine with whatever happens. And would you look at that? It looks like we're still going to be gaining our max HP here. We just have so many stats. Oh my god, we can kill people and we get the circle for killing people. That is crazy. Yeah, this is what I mean by Balladin Crew C20. It can just feel so decent sometimes. This is definitely one of those times. There are so many high roll pieces that you can set yourself up for that hitting them will just result in it's just an overwhelming. We're just doing so much more than the enemies are at this point, which is usually not what happens in Crucible 20 as the last few runs have shown. Although that was a lot of, if we got Demon this fight, it would be very nasty. Demon would not be nice here. But we don't have Demon, so we don't have to deal with that, so we're in just such a better position here. One of the things that I've also been doing, which I'd say is probably pretty important, might be easy to notice or not, but particularly with these last 3 passives, all of them have something in common. I picked them all up. One of the reasons why I picked them up was the same reason for all of them. And that is, all of them are really good for making sure that you hit good boss passives. Now, Popping Corn is really good with any multiple boss passive. There are many of those at this point. Lots of boss passives are going to try and get you to hit more pegs. So Popping Corn is just good all around. Knuckles, yeah, I think you can imagine what happens when you hit Knuckles with Leaf Thrust for later. It's just a really, really good combo to be hitting. Also, it looks like we just smashed right through him there. Perfect. Oh, here we have a very fun opportunity. Knuckles, yeah, setting you up for the Leaf Thrust for later, and I've totally just given you more options. All of these 3 basically guarantee that we're going to find something we want, which is really nice. So here, I'm actually going to do something interesting. Obviously, the fact that our cycling is as good as it is now is insane. And I should really, playing around the cycling would be a good idea. If I found a round guard, and I remove orbs from my deck, I just instantly win. However, we also have another line of play here, and that is to play around... Oh my lord. So here, Kinetic Meteorite, that counts for Popping Corn. That's really good for Popping Corn. Wrath, that's not bad, because we're only taking 1 self-damage for every 30 pegs activated, and Popping Corn is giving us 2 procs per 30 pegs activated, so we can out-heal Wrath. So it's just a double damage boost, which is really good. We also, however, have this, which is really quite good, so I'll definitely just be taking it. Yeah. But yeah, those 2 orbs are both really nice, because one of them is going to be creating Sappers for me, which is very valuable, because Sappers will just instantly wipe most fights at this point. And it's only bad if we get Coin Dragon. And Shock Absorber is going to be decreasing the damage that Sappers do, so that when we get a Recombobulator with Short Fuse and Enhanced Gunpowder, basically just the full comp, right? We're just not going to die. It's just not going to be possible to kill us. Alright, this is a fight that is weak to Sappers. Probably a bit of misplay on my part for this fight. I think I should have ended with Shield. I don't know if I got max health for that. Don't know if that counted. There we go, 1 less damage is a pretty big deal. Now, what kind of greed do I have? None. Sure. Let's just collect a small amount of cash and be on our way then. Alright, we definitely just want to be playing for Sappersack in every fight. We're at the point where we can definitely just say, I lose 2 Borg per Sapper, I think. And then I'm basically regaining the Borg because... Jesus, this is so good. Because we have such a fun combo going on here. And we have so much Borg for post-combat greed. I have 1 upgrade I want to do, so let's take it. Pebble. That's not it. Bubbles, that's it. I can't really think of any more orbs that I'm trying to add to this deck. Apart from more orbs, perhaps. Nice, so we just get to shoot our good orb immediately. And the other nice thing about setting yourself up for Leaf the Rest for later high roll is there's even more Leaf the Rest for later high roll you can get. Cookie is only the beginning, right? Like, there's just so much stuff you could be doing. Wow. That is tempting to not go to a store. Triple Elite. I don't think I will be, but, you know, I do want to consider that. If I hit a refreshing punch, this run is over. To be clear, though, I already kind of think it's over, but over. Oh my lordy, that's perfect. Oh, it's the rematch. Well, let's see. Who do we think's going to win? I'm sure it'll be a tough fight. Both sides are equally matched. Oh, and would you look at that? The fight's over. Thanks for the shielding. And the max health. Appreciate it. More refreshes? Sounds good enough to me. Now, I did make a big misplay here. I would really recommend not doing this. It's something I keep doing. And my targeting was not set up. I should have just been able to take a shot and immediately go left, but looks like I wasn't punished for it. This is another reason why Leaf the Rest Flater is really good, this fight. It's so much easier with this many extra refreshes on the board. And Sapsack also makes it a whole lot easier. Because you hit that one Sapper and then they kind of just collapse. Perfect. I do want that. Triple Elite it is. I just take like no damage from Sappers now. That's fun. I don't need it. But it's fun. Selfless Sling. Yeah, let's try it. Let's try it. I think I still should probably be going to the stores. But it's whatever. It's just so much more fun trying out these elites. It also gives me time to upgrade my Bobble, which I might otherwise not have, because I believe there weren't actually that many fights going... There was some. Slap, slap. This can be a bit of a spooky fight. I think for the most part we're still just incredibly fine here. But, yeah. Sapphire is generally very good for running through this guy. It just achieves a lot, really. I will take that. It's not that much more max health. But the rest aren't crazy good. Minus 16 HP. I will take the 8 HP loss. Another one? Sure. I'd say this or Ghost is definitely the worst. Probably, I don't know, this one's just totally fine as long as I'm just getting a shot like this though. If I get a shot like this, it's kind of just over. You love to see that. Now you might say, oh, but Recombobulate is the one where you die. Yep. But does that really matter? I have intentional oboe, so I'm not sure if I'm even taking any damage from sappers onto my health at this point. I'm probably not, to be honest. Like, that's just how crazy this combo stuff is. And then with how many refreshes I've got going for me, like, I can just get these bombs back so fast. And like, sure, I'm also scaling my enemy. Not ideal. But he's scaling half as fast. And meanwhile, the sappers are dealing 300 damage to him per pop. So, he is running out of time to kill me. I might actually let... I could totally let them dead me. Actually, this is a great test. I didn't even lose my bulb there, so I couldn't test it. So, this guy scales off of sappers, so let's let him scale. Let's see who has the better scaling, eh? I'm interested to know. Well, I think I already know the answer. Well, I know the answer. But, I mean... surely it's at least mildly close. Alright, do I lose health for my sappers? That's what I want to know. I do get to find out here, except I didn't get any sappers. Well, I can tell you one thing for sure. I don't lose any sappers for shooting them this shot. As well as it's probably just going to deal a whole lot of damage. Yep. Nice stuff. So let's see if I do want to know, for sure. 121 health. Oh, but it's going up. Oh, I do. I think I only lose one, or maybe two health per effort. Well, it's definitely four, two. It's definitely two. Two at the minimum. Cool. Yeah. So as I thought, C20 Balladin, it's not too hard. You can definitely get a win if you want, and there are definitely a few strategies that I tried. A lot of the time, I did take a Sapsack for my first boss passive, yes. And probably the main reason why I was taking the Sapsacks is because if you're walking out of Area 1 and you don't actually have good sources of AoE, there are some fights in Area 2 where, like the 94 fight, right, where you will literally just die if you don't have good AoE, straight up. There's no two ways about it. So, Sapsack is a great way of converting your health into the enemy's health loss. And unfortunately, it can take a while to hit the Sapsack, so you can lose health, as well as the Sapsack's also losing your health, and it's also pretty good at killing you. It's a pretty risky passive all around, but a lot of time it is going to pay out. And in particular, this is Balladin we're talking about. Sapsack is a very different passive on the other classes. On Balladin, you can actually get away with Sapsack a lot of the time. Bastion is really, really good. As I was talking about in my previous run, it's really good for just nullifying the damage you're taking. If you can find some source of healing, like we had two sources of healing, Vote on Stake, Popping Corn, both of which pretty massive. Both are very, very nice. Then that also really helps. And also any form of damage mitigation, we had both Intentional Ogre and Torn Sash. Both are absolutely amazing. Torn Sash is just so good. That's kind of funny. I was going to pop my Torn Sash there, just fire into the fire twice. But then I got offered a Wool Chicken, and I was just like, Wool Chicken plus a popped Torn Sash is so good. Plus, like, I was fighting Betsy. Betsy is a tough fight. It's a lot simpler when I had got that Torn Sash, though. Like, my health was actually going up at that point. I was surprised by how much my health stabilized for that Betsy fight. I kind of wasn't really losing as much as I thought, and I was scaling, which is pretty big. But yeah, and then once we found the opportunities to, we actually managed to pick up good AoE. Like, if you can find this kind of AoE before going into Area 2, this Haversack is a lot less necessary, but you need good AoE for Area 2. It's it's like the make or break for Crucible 20, to be honest. Most of the time, you're going to be getting through Area 1. That's not going to be too big of a problem. You're probably going to have some kind of comp which allows you to get there pretty easily, like Pebble Comp had the damage to get there. I can't recall the other comps exactly that I did say, but most of the time you're going to be able to do that. Area 2 is just the big struggle, though. You need a lot of power to get through Area 2. Most of it is AoE power. Healing power is also very, very highly recommended, especially if you want to tackle as many elites as we did. What we did was pretty crazy. We had Torn Sash, so we could get away with a lot this run. If you want to win your runs as well, I would also recommend finding yourself a Torn Sash and being able to get it, and being in a safe spot to get it. Unfortunately, being in the safe spot to get it is just very, very hard, and basically the only reason we actually got away with it is because we had Well Done Sake and we had Ambidextrony. I do think, though, that that three-store choice was incredible. Maybe in the right-hand store, that was a round guard. Maybe I missed out on my round guard there. That would have been amazing, that's for sure. But like the passes that I hit and the chances that I gave myself to set up for this run, it just had to be worth it, right? Like the ambidextrony was so insane, and there were so many passes there. Well, mostly just round guard and ambidextrony, right? That would have been just so good for the run.